We back? Alright. I don't know what happened. Everything just died. Like my whole computer just died. Alright. We didn't lose too much, that's fine. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Things just exploded. Oh well, I guess technically the stream starts now. Yo, S0, thanks for follow. And X Bing, thanks for follow as well. It's cool, we didn't really lose anything. We only just started. Did you keep the changes? Nah, I just crashed it. Well, I mean, I just restarted my whole computer. I don't know why it's so slow at the moment though. Something's definitely up with my computer at the moment. Maybe my computer's getting old. Alright, we don't need any of this stuff. Get rid of that. Ancient. Now it's funny because like didn't they talk about like GTX like 3080s and shit like that? I'm like, fucking hell, I'm still on my 1080. Like, what level of graphics card's going to? You're still on 1070? I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna get these groups. And I'm gonna put them on like a layer. So when I don't really need it, we can just turn it off. Oh, that's in the mech group for some reason. Why would that do that? Oh, because it's called mech. I haven't named these yet. I think there's also like a pretty decent poly count of the all these parts. Like they do add up, especially like these areas. They do add up pretty quickly. All right. Yeah, but how often should you like replace your computer realistically? Five to seven? Yo, how's it going? Good morning. Oh. Always do incremental upgrades. Oh, on Angon. Oh. Okay, I get you. Oh shit, shouldn't have done that. Make sure to save. Yeah, we should save. That's alright, it's still pretty early days. I'm just gonna use the shift click thing to continue the curve. But yeah, as far as this aircraft goes, I feel we're in a pretty good spot. We have like, you know, we have basic idea of UVs, hierarchy. The mesh is in a pretty decent spot. It's just about making it as good as we can in the time we have left, pretty much. So yeah, probably in this stream we'll focus on like just filling gaps, stuff like that, cleaning up things. You use lots of tries in VR because normal maps don't look good. I have no idea about VR or normal maps. Mostly about reducing poly count. But how does having a try reduce polygon count? Or are you talking about using normal maps instead? Well, I mean, normal maps aren't really accurate, right? I mean, normal maps is just faking the lighting, right? Let's do seed body panel. Yo, I'll be back in 2 secs. Um, from what you can tell, they don't do well in VR. I have no idea. Ooh. Alright, that's fine. What else do we have? This one. Hmm. Okay, that's interesting. So this doesn't appear to be symmetrical. We have a pretty open space up here. I'll probably just find some more kit bash stuff. Like for something underneath there, it doesn't really matter what it is. I'm probably gonna grab something on the simpler side. Maybe, I don't know, do something like this. Actually, I've used this piece quite a lot. I'm just gonna grab something different. That's pretty complex. Doesn't, since this one's really subtle, it doesn't really matter what it is. Might be kind of nice to have like a sharp edge. Maybe not actually. Hmm. It's been going out with my computer today. It's just been really slow today. What we could do is start to like integrate this stuff a bit more. So maybe you can like pull this up to here and just use elements we already have. So the way to like deal with like kit bashing is to make it like not look kit bashed. Like things are like actually intentional. So one way to do that is to make stuff like plug into each other. So things look like they have like a sense of purpose. And then of course make sure you delete what you don't need. You were curious about what? Pretty bad intersection there. What were you curious about? Damn, this thing's gonna get pretty heavy actually. This thing's already 1.5 million. Actually, no, with these included, of course. Let's see, with these turned off. The kit bash stuff, is there any logic behind it, or is this about making it believable? Um, you have to make it look like it is meant to be there, if that makes sense. So, like, logical to a degree. So the vehicle so far is 1.5 million polys. That's a decent amount. As you can see, like kit bashing with this sort of stuff like adds up pretty quickly. So we already have 1.5 million polys. In that case, whoa, what's some intersecting there? I might try and like fill gaps now with basic shapes. Just because the polygon count is getting kind of the polygon count is getting a bit intense. A single Fall Guy has 1.5 million polys, of course. Yeah, do you know apparently officially the Fall Guys are like 6 feet each. Is there anything here that I use for films, or it's all private? It's all private. There's nothing. I wouldn't ever use any of my personal stuff at work. I wouldn't even bother trying to get it there. There's no point. They have their own stuff for this. Yeah, I'm gonna try just doing some kit bashing with like basic components. So, you know, the polygon count doesn't go too crazy. I don't know, maybe we can do stuff like this. Or something like that. That's probably better actually. Like that's kind of cool actually. Like the little dip. Yeah, polygon count's getting too high. We'll do some basic kit bashing. I mean, but to be fair, we've already kind of covered a lot of the. We obviously have to deal with this. We've obviously filled a lot of the gaps, so it's not too bad. Whose favorite cake is carrot cake? Whoever they are, they're wrong. Have I done any test renders? No, we haven't done any test renders. I don't know if we'll do any renders. I don't know if we'll do any renders for this series. I mean, I'll obviously do renders afterwards, but I don't think we'll bother getting to like renders and stuff. Like usually in a studio, you have like lighting setups and turntable setups already made for you. We don't really have to do our own lighting or anything like that. Like it's all kind of automated for us to keep things consistent. Yeah, since we're probably not going to see much of it from the bottom. Oh, wrong one. Yes, I do this quite a lot. Even if I'm not kit bashing like crazy pipes and stuff like that, I might just kit bash blocking shapes. It kind of gives you cool shapes for free. I just want something to like bridge this gap pretty much. Since no one's really gonna see it that much, it's more of like a light blocker, I guess. Well, there's a huge empty hole in here. In that case, I might get rid of this and just have like put a basic shape in here. What polygon count is too high for this type of ship? Well, I mean, what makes the polygon count so high for this thing is the fact that we have a lot of exposed, like, mechanic stuff, but because we have so much exposed stuff, we can expect the poly count to be quite high. Like, the paneling isn't anything, it's this. The polygon count all comes from the mech. So, we're gonna end up with, like, a 3 million poly mesh. That would be, like, the highest. I wouldn't go any higher than that. That's pretty high res. It might even get to the point that we start to like trim stuff off and try and lower the polygon count eventually. Are there going to be any moving parts? Not with this one. Maybe we should see if there's anything we can kind of start getting rid of. Because there's a lot of stuff we just won't see. Like obviously not like this. Like doing this sort of cleanup is important. I know there's a lot of modelers out there that don't do this sort of stuff. And it can be quite annoying for everyone else. Now that we're in like a pretty good spot, we can probably start like removing things we know we won't see. So we won't see that. Oh shit, we are gonna see all this. Alright. Like we can probably get away with all this. So already this is like 7,000 polygons we just got rid of. Like it's not really gonna change much. This one's kind of crazy. Like I wouldn't spend too much time trying to do this. It's more just like the easier stuff. Like I wouldn't start like deleting faces and stuff like that unless you like actually had the time to do that. Like we don't see any of this. Get rid of that. Chuck a multi-cut through and delete it? Nah, don't do that. Right in here, is there anything we can get rid of this? Oh, that one's already pretty bare bones. Pretty sure a lot of the polygon count is here. Yeah, alright. 300,000 polys is just in this thing. Well, that's a lot. I might just hide these to speed things up. Just because, I mean, we don't really need to see them anymore. Not too bad. Yo, Kelvin Caliber, thanks for the follow. Yeah, I'll leave that one though. Yeah, the problem like things like thrusters and stuff like that, those things will always have crazy amounts of like crazy high poly counts just because it's so many repeated shapes. I decided to get rid of that internal piece and just put a plane here. It's probably just going to be easier. But yeah, welcome to the stream. Yo, Bella, how's it going? Thanks for the 13 months. Holy shit. Thanks for subbing so long. Pretty impressive. How's it going? Pretty good. We this is the 6th Autodesk stream so far, and yeah, things are in a pretty good spot at the moment. We're just like trying to wrap stuff up. I kind of like this big thing here, but like it's gonna be really obvious if it just penetrates. So yeah, we should probably deal with that. What I might do, just Yeah, we're getting pretty good. I feel we're in a pretty good position with this. Like usually the start of a project is when you're kind of I guess concerned about like, how it's gonna go. But by this stage you can kind of relax a bit. I mean not necessarily relax as in like slow down, but more like feel comfortable with being able to finish the project on time sort of thing. I did the wrong thing, didn't I? Goddamn. I meant to boolean. Yo, how's it going everyone? Good morning. Good morning to you too. Yeah, I might just boolean it like that. Leave it. I kind of like having that little gap there. It's kind of nice. Yeah, what time? We're about to see for it to be morning. You did not sleep, so you're still awake? Oh, that's not good. It's 6 a.m.? God damn. That totally didn't work. You should look after yourself, man. How did I do what? Oh, connect the edges like that? I can show you. Give me 2 secs. So this might be an easy example. So if we have like a face like this, right? So what I did was I went triangulate here, which does this, and then I went to quadrangulate, which is underneath it, and then it turns it into quads. So for me, I have two hotkeys next to each other. So I just press triangulate, then quadrangulate. Or you can just do it quickly. I just roll my fingers across it and do them both at the same time. So that's how I did that. Yeah, there's plenty of other ways of doing it. That's definitely not like the most mind-blowing way. But you can just simply bridge. Might be easier, faster. But it's just a method I've gotten used to. You thought it was useless for the longest time. I mean, it's for personal preference. I don't think it's necessarily something that people have to learn or anything like that. It's just something my friend showed me years ago, and I thought it was kind of cool. But it's not consistent. Like sometimes it might form the quad in a different way. So it's not like I always do it just to quickly see what happens. Like say for example, I wanted to connect this corner. I don't know if it would do it. Alright, it worked that time. But sometimes it might connect that way. So I usually just do it just to see it because it takes no time. And then if it doesn't work, I'll just fix it. So I do that quite a lot. And I'll show you guys something later. It's what I usually do at the end to make sure I don't have any n-gons is I do that as well. I select the whole mesh by an n-gon. And any n-gons that I get, I triangulate then quadrangulate them. So I get rid of n-gons across the whole mesh at once. As my like last like minute cleanup sort of thing. Usually if there's n-gons like that, I probably can't even see them, which is why I didn't notice them. So usually I just do like a quick method like that. But yeah, I'll show you all that. I'll show you all that sort of stuff later, when we get to like the final stages. Like probably the last stream will be that. The last stream will be like cleaning up stuff and doing like naming conventions and all that cool stuff. Yeah, it's just one of the many ways of doing it. One thing I've learned from streaming is that it doesn't matter what I do, someone will tell me I'm wrong. So if you like using that method, that's cool. If not, that's also cool. Oh, I've accidentally gone into sculpting. Hacks. Yeah, I always find it much harder to be like fast and productive on the Wednesday stream because I've already spent the day at work. And then we do another 3 hours of topology afterwards. So the Saturdays usually feel like my more productive streams. Oh, I just got welcome to the chat, so I assume I missed something. If someone could get me up to speed, please, that would be awesome. Didn't miss anything? Alright, that's cool. Yeah, Twitch's own system can be a bit annoying sometimes. Yo, Chu? Thanks for the follow. I mean, there is definitely wrong ways to model. I think that's a thing. Oh shit. But there's definitely a lot of people that fight over pressing one button instead of no, like 3 buttons instead of 4. Like stuff like that is a bit tiring. But there's definitely wrong ways to model. That's the thing. Oh yeah, this one's kind of getting in the way. I was like, where's this gone? And I realized I hit it. Yeah, one of the annoying things about streaming is it does actually slow down your computer a bit. which is kind of frustrating. Or maybe I need to play with my settings more. Yeah, something like that's kind of cool. Actually, it might be cool if it just straight up goes into the wall. I don't like that. We'll leave the gap. How do you find that clip of the guy saying you? Oh, I don't know. I don't think we should put that on the stream. That's like the last thing we should probably put on the Autodesk sponsor stream. You need it for personal reasons? I don't know. Maybe Channibal. If Channibal was here, he could help you find it. Channibal usually has the answer to all that sort of stuff. Whereas Channibal, I have no idea where Channibal is. When you delete edges, the verse stays. There's a few ways. There's a few ways of dealing with that. So I usually use I know someone in the chat might control delete. Yeah, that's one way. For me, I usually just get rid of the whole edge loop a lot of the time, and I usually just use control right click. What am I? Edge loop utilities to edge loop and delete. That will get rid of the whole edge loop and the verts. Is it okay to ask modeling questions not specific to the small? Sure. And depends. I don't know what's happened, but this model is much harder to work on today than it was on Saturday. I don't know what's up with my computer tonight. Like, it's super slow tonight. I don't know what happened. For sure, what's your general modeling question? History? No, I delete history constantly. Fall Guys. I'm pretty sure Fall Guys running in the background doesn't do anything. Give me 2 secs. I just want to check something. I won't go anywhere. Give me a sec. You guys still around? Oh my god, it's 1,000 times faster now. I think there was just random shit running in the background. God. There's so much random stuff just running in the background, I realized. Like Epic's game launcher and like all this other stuff. I just closed everything. I know, there's so much. Like stuff that I didn't even open, like Spotify, like all this other Razer Synapse, like all this other garbage. Let's see. Then put my music back on. Yeah, I just closed everything. So hopefully we should be better now. Oh my god, it's 1,000 times better. Jeez. What was all that garbage in the background? Alright. So hopefully we should be able to model now. Yeah, I had no idea what was going on. Alright. Let's see. Yeah, at this point we're kind of just like looking at things to fill. If that makes sense. Like there's some collision stuff there, so maybe we can. A lot of the stuff on the bottom, like since we probably won't see that much of, I'm trying to get away with doing like the more proxy basic geo instead. Because, you know, no one's ever going to really see this, potentially. I mean, you know, that could change later, but for now, no one's really going to see this stuff. Yeah, it feels like night and day now. After I after I close the background programs. I didn't realize how much they were affecting my cheese. Yeah, now we're chilling. Yeah, stuff like that's fine. There's gaps here. Yeah, a lot of the times you can kind of just fill the gap with anything. That one's a bit too obvious. Here it's okay. Oh yeah, that's right. This one is L engine mech. This one's L main body. This one's C rubber. Yeah, it's kind of crazy, like the size difference that comes on like my nighttime versus my day. Yeah, the kind follower. Thanks for the follow. But yeah, like on the Saturday streams, we usually get double to triple the viewers. I don't know what it is about the Saturday streams. The fact you see like a gap under there probably isn't the end of the world. Bella had a question how to make tire treads. On my YouTube, there's a video on making tire treads that we actually did on stream once upon a time. Yeah, so now we're kind of chilling. We can just make cool stuff. This is like the refinement phase. Like just making the stuff look nice. What is this? Oh. I am sponsored by Autodesk. I wouldn't say I am sponsored by Autodesk. I would say the streams are sponsored by Autodesk. So Autodesk is sponsoring 10 streams for this series. So I'm not an employee of Autodesk. Like I don't represent them or anything like that. But they are sponsoring this series. There's something like that, like a little gap for it to go into would be kind of cool. Yeah, if you go back onto my YouTube, you should be able to find a stream from once upon a time. And we do, yeah, we model a tire in the stream. So the method I did there is one way of doing it. You don't have to do it that way. It's down to personal preference. Oh, did someone already find it? Sick. Yeah. 17th of February 2019. Dang, we've been going for a while. If only I didn't stop streaming. That would be cool. Actually, I might just leave that for now. We can deal with this later. Damn, that was quick. I know you found it real fast. I really like this piece, so I might steal it again. So I'll do this quite a lot. I'll just reuse the same parts across the ship. Like the front and the back are actually the same, but you won't really be able to tell. But you know, something like this could be kind of cool. Just some sort of breakup. Or maybe a bit more hidden. So it's more of a subtle thing. And maybe we'll spread it out. How am I? When's the next cooking stream? Um, we have to do some more sub goals afterwards. So at the moment we have 71 subs. I was thinking of after the Autodesk streams we could go back to doing like, you know, maybe 100 gifted sub or 100 gifts. 100 subs for like a cooking stream or something like that again. Back to how we used to have it. And we can go back to doing our rewards for the channel points. So the handstands and the headstands will come back. For this, I might just cheat this and use all of this. Fine. Yeah, we can go back to doing cooking streams again soon. Whoa, there's a lot of geometry in here we don't actually see. Do I know what I would cook? I have no idea. What would, if I was to do a cooking stream, what would the chat want? Carrot cake? I'm not making carrot cake. So I can't even see this one, so we can just straight up delete that. Yeah, I'm not a fan of carrot cake at all. Something involving fire. I mean, I don't know, what do you guys want me to cook that involves fire? Am I still working on the real-time environment? I'm actually not, to be fair. I decided I needed to suck it up and do ZBrush. Like, I feel I was kind of, beating around the bush, not beating around the bush, like trying to dodge ZBrush by doing all this other stuff. So I said, screw it, we'll just do ZBrush. ZBrush 4, guys. Yo, tier. Thanks for the follow. I can't read your full name, but thank you too. Well, there's a lot of duplicates of the same thing. What is this? Oh. This is meant to be further out. Just call you tier? Alright, no worries. Welcome to the stream. So for people who haven't been here before, I'm a hard surface modeler in the film industry. Worked on like Star Wars and Transformers and Marvel projects and all that sort of cool stuff. And yeah, we're doing a series of streams sponsored by Autodesk on how to create a production ready asset for film in a very, very limited amount of time. And we have a pretty solid result for only how many? 15 hours of streaming. Yeah, we got like base level UVs down. We have some basic hierarchy. Yeah, basic hierarchy. We have basic pretty decent topology so far. So yeah, we're sitting in a pretty good position at the moment. Right now, we're just kind of cleaning stuff up. This was in 15 hours? Yes, but it probably sounds more impressive than it was. So we had a concept mesh that we originally started with, and we extracted elements of the concept mesh that we could use, and we retopologized them to be sub-D. We cut them up into panels, and then we have a library of components we can use to kit bash and add detail to the ship. But yeah. We're trying to simulate having a very tight deadline, and I'm just showing you how we would deal with this at work, having such limits of time. Was the concept mesh from ZBrush? No, the concept mesh was in Maya as well, but it was like the concept mesh was like super hacky. The topology was awful, but this is all nice, clean sub-D raw. That's kind of penetrating a bit. So yeah, a lot of the stuff now would be kind of like filling gaps and just dealing with things like penetrations and stuff like that. So what I thought might be kind of cool, it's not in the concept, but we do this quite a lot as well, is these panels aren't really hanging on to anything. So I was thinking it might be cool if we add some form of support to it. So like we do this a lot at work as well. Like it's our job to take the concept to like a realistic level. So we might do things like add supports and general small details which kind of flesh out the design. So let's just steal some stuff and see what we have so far. Like we can probably get away with this sort of stuff. Like it doesn't have to be anything major. But something like this kind of just makes it feel a bit more like heavy duty sort of thing. I mean, this is pretty obvious. Maybe you could do, you can probably do this actually. Just push them back in a bit. So it's more of a like a supporting feature sort of thing. Yeah, so we'll do this sort of stuff quite a lot at work. I still think it might be a bit too in your face, but I mean like the general idea is what we would do at work. We would take something that like the general idea and we would make it kind of feel like it's real. I mean, obviously we'd have to deal with like that, but yeah, the general idea is sure you get. What happens if we pull this out? That's kind of cooler actually. No, I'll keep it this way. Too much exterior detail? I don't mean, when I meant by two in your face, I meant this thing, like I don't want to, I want it to make it more of like a subtle feature. Like it's, like you're aware it's attached to it, but it's not overpowering. Like you don't want to do something like this where it's like super in your face. That's what I mean. So it's kind of like a subtle element which makes you like help believe that this is a real thing, but it's not like the feature. I mean, of course, if it was in the design, you would do it because it is meant to be featured, but it's meant to be more of a subtle thing. So I'll probably just keep it something like this. Yep. Oh, what's going on? Did everything just reopen itself on my computer or something? Let's go to this side. There's no real point of having both sides if you're not really working on it. Oops. 16 hours you could make one piece sub D. I mean, but the thing is, like, we had a lot of pre-made components, and we kind of cut as many corners as we could. Like, that's kind of, and we're kind of dealing with things in a, like, good enough mentality. Because at the end of the, like, at the end of the day, we're not creating, like, personal work or anything like that. We're trying to create a product as fast as we can that looks good in the limited time we have, which is pretty accurate for, like, working in production. Yeah, I might just dip this down here. Since it's gonna go so far that I won't see it, I'm not gonna bother building like the back side of this. Maybe try a hydraulic piston. I don't know if we'd have like the time to consider stuff like that. You don't wanna you don't wanna add too much stuff. Because if you start adding like moving components that aren't really needed, someone will have to rig them. And that could create problems. Uh Yeah, how's it going? Yeah, I know this might sound weird, but adding too much is also a problem. As in, like, trying to overbuild things, like having like moving parts everywhere. Usually, rigging would rather if you make things move less. Because if it has to be rigged, that just adds another thing that would be critiqued. And the client might, you know, it could just snowball into doing a lot more work. Yeah, but for now, that's probably good enough. Yeah, what is the project? Um, Thanks for the follow, by the way. So what the project is this is a sponsored stream by Autodesk where we're trying to not recreate, we're trying to create a film production asset within a very limited time frame. So I took my concept mesh and we're rebuilding it as a production mesh. And this is the result of, this is the 6th stream, so this is the result of 5 streams so far. Yep. Oh yeah, if you duplicate something and then you press Shift D afterwards, it'll just repeat the duplicate, which is cool. Something like this, I'm still not sold on it, but we leave it for now. Like, don't spend too much time on this sort of stuff. Like, if you're not super happy with something, I would usually just leave it and move on to something else. Yeah, I'm not really feeling it. But we can deal with that later. There are times you could spend up, like, stressing too much about, like, a connection. And then at the end of the day, the client just won't care. Like, it doesn't add or take from anything, so it's usually best not to stress too much about that stuff. Or we could just simply make them less obvious. Just spread them down more. Because we kind of did make them a feature by having them there. Yeah, something like that is much more subtle. But yeah, this is one of the things that definitely helps with like realism, is making things look like they're actually attached to each other. So before we just had like floating panels, but now it looks like it is actually being held on. So where is this? You'll see a pretty big difference. Like the difference between like this and this is pretty obvious. It's a subtle thing, but this just looks like it's held together by something. But yeah, I need to go to the restroom. I'll be back in 2 secs. Yeah, we're halfway through the stream. So I think we have, yeah, an hour and a half left. Yeah, I was thinking after the Autodesk streams are done, we can do some snails and ZBrush, because I'm sure people are super excited about the snail and ZBrush. As I promised we would sculpt it after getting Twitch partner. That's right, we'll finally do it. I am learning ZBrush right now, by the way. I've already started another project, which I haven't done on stream. And I don't know if I will do the project on stream. Maybe later. But there's a mech I'm building in ZBrush to learn like hard surface sculpting. Going through the good old Kiosk Masons tutorials. Ah, I see, I've gone through. You're really happy you found the stream? Cheers. Yeah, there's not many. I don't know anyone actually. Which tutorials? Kiosk Masons have a pretty cool list of hard surface ZBrush tutorials. Just gonna put this out of the way. How did you find the stream? Did you just stumble across it through like the 3D modeling or? Wait, what is this? Oh, that is that. Yeah, maybe we could do that in the future. All the streams for the near future will be Autodesk ones though. And Fall Guys, of course. We do we do Fall Guys streams. That was mad fun. Actually, let's not delete that. Let's just push it down. Oh, that's pretty cool. Pretty crazy stuff. Watching Andrew trying to screw people over in Fall Guys is pretty funny. Oh, Fall Guys is mad fun. Maybe after this stream we can get some Fall Guys in if people are interested. We can squad up with the chat again. That was good fun. Oh yeah, I get mad toxic when we play Fall Guys. It's good fun. Maybe we can do some of that after the Autodesk stream. I might just leave that one. So yeah, a lot of the stuff we have now is like usually at the start I work pretty rough, just like just throwing stuff in there. But now is when we do like the refinement and like fixing like where models like penetrate with each other and stuff like that. So that's what this time is. This time is just going back and forth over the model, looking for like problems and stuff like that. This is my usual general workflow. Yeah, we can get some Fall Guys in after the Autodesk stream. You know, 8 hours of work and then 3 hours of Autodesk work afterwards. We deserve some video games. I think that's one of the good things about Fall Guys. It's one of those games where you can kind of just jump in, play a few, hop off. There's no real requirement to play it, I guess. There's nothing keeping you in, I guess. When can we do co-op in Fall Guys? We can do it now. If you have it on PC, we can play now. We I played with Mermity, who is in Asia, and he said he had a little bit of lag, but we still got to play together, so we can apparently play all around the world. So with this pipe here, I kind of want to make this connect to it in some way. Maybe we can do the cheat way. You want to try it? If you have it on Steam, we can play. Um, let's try do this. This one. This is like the lazy man sort of connection. If we, since you don't really see it, penetrating it might just be okay. Something kind of like this. It's still better than nothing, I feel. If you, I mean, of course it'd be better to have like a nicer connection, but still something like this is, it's still better than nothing. Wait, is that a hole? Oh no, it's not. Never mind. Just get the base edition. Yeah, you don't need collectors. Unless you want the outfits. Yeah, we should just do a Full Guys stream sponsored sponsored by Autodesk. We can do research into into game art. Yo, how's it going? What have we done in the first hour? So, like at the stage we're at to now for this sort of thing, it's in a pretty good spot. So mostly what we're doing now is just trying to make things look better, pretty much. Oh, I shouldn't have frozen that one. Trying to make things, you know, look like, you know, they're held onto things, stuff like this. This is the main thing we're doing right now. This is really what helps sell stuff. I mean, it's not perfect, but stuff like this, like things that look like they clamp into each other, helps sell the realism. That's what we're doing at the moment. We're kind of just taking everything and trying to make it better. Like we already have like everything is already sub-D already. We already have pretty decent topology around. So now we're trying to do like the refinement stage pretty much. And we already have like base UVs on everything. Well, most stuff. So yeah. Wait, did it turn off? Oh, I got this turned off. So we already have, well, it's not everything is UV'd, but we have pretty decent UVs. We know the texel density we're using, stuff like that. So yeah, we're in a pretty good spot right now. I mean, this one's not UV'd. Yeah, thanks, I appreciate it. God, all this stuff is super broken. But we can worry about that later. At the moment, we're just trying to, like, you know, fill gaps and just, like, we have to deal with that penetration there. The way I usually deal with, like, I mean, this is the laziest way of dealing with it, is to simply just add, like, a rim around stuff. I either add, like, a rim or a cut. That's usually how I deal with this sort of stuff. Let's just do a rim. This might not work too well, though. Just because it's on a weird angle. We'll see how this works. If it doesn't look good, we can just delete it. We didn't spend too long on this. Yo, Hima, how's it going, man? Yeah, man, they Autodesk sponsored a series of 10 streams. So we are in, this is the 6th one now, I think. So yeah, the series of streams is, oops, about trying to build a production mesh as quickly as possible in 10 streams. So we've spent, like usually we would spend like a month building this thing, but we only get 30 hours. So already in the first 15, this is what we have, which is pretty cool. Already it's in a pretty solid state. So yeah, this is a vehicle I designed a few years ago, and yeah, we're trying to make it like a nice, nice clean topology for production. Going pretty well. We have a library of components we use to kit bash with and add detail with. Is there a polygon budget? There isn't usually, but you still have to be within reason. Like, so the problem with this is, at the moment, this is 3 million polys. Let's turn my music down for a sec. So this is 3 million polys at the moment, which I would say is like roughly like the max you should go with something like this. What makes this so high poly is we have all the exposed components. Like all this sort of small detail is always what adds to topology. The poly count, like not the panels. The panels are super low poly. With something like this, you would kind of expect it to be higher just because there's so many exposed components. But yeah, for like a vehicle this size, I would say like 1 million would be like optimal. 2 million to 3 million max. We're kind of going to town with this. But as long as it's not like 20 million, you're okay. Like things like transformers and stuff like that are usually like 10 million. So this is fine. I mean, transformers are all exposed components. So that's why they're so high poly. But yeah, you see like this bit here isn't good. You want to have that capped. Or not capped, but like have it look like it feeds into something. I mean, one thing we can easily do is just like, well, not that way. Put it back in on itself. Oh, if it was straight. Kind of having like a connection like that. Probably the easiest way of doing this. What's the big next production step? UVing. So we've already done like a base level of UVing. Like you can see here, we've already done a pretty decent amount. So, what am I looking for? Because we have, panels. Because we have such limited time to do this asset, we kind of doing it in waves. So we did like the base modeling, the base blocking out, the base kit bashing, and then we did like base UVs. I mean, that's not good. To try and work out, the scale we need. And yeah. You have a more personal question. What's your take on when students, artists like myself, reach out emailing professionals about networking and trying to create a friendship mentorship? My main question is, from your perspective, when you receive such emails, what are your thoughts about it? That's a pretty good email, and that's a pretty good question, I mean. And honestly, like I've talked to a lot of professionals about this sort of thing. It's a pretty juicy topic, if I'm completely honest. So it goes in multiple ways. The problem, I'll talk about the biggest con about doing this, and this is that we're totally going to go on an epic rant now. So the biggest con with this sort of thing, especially with like it being so easy to access professionals now, is a lot of students feel incredibly entitled. Like I've met so many incredibly entitled students. that feel just because they have access to me, I owe them my time. And that's not good. So I don't think there's any problem with like reaching out to that sort of thing. Like I don't think there's any problem at all with reaching out to like professionals and like trying to get like a level of like mentorship. It's it's just how you do it, which is the main thing. Like I know a lot of students kind of expect things for free. They they expect you to be able to like I have a lot of experience with people just kind of expecting that I'm sitting around doing nothing, waiting to give them feedback when I have a full-time job myself. But in saying that, I think I think it's a good idea to reach out to professionals, but just do it in a way that you realize that they have their own lives and just respect their time. I think that's the main thing. I've had a lot of horror stories of some students. I actually even wrote a blog on it. It became such a big thing. I wrote a blog on how to deal with professionals. Epic rant time. Yeah, what is my overall thoughts on it? I think. Do I have a link to it? Just so you're saying play a few rounds of Fall Guys. Well, okay, so this is also the main thing, right? Like, I get. Yeah, I know. Big surprise. The professionals are busy. And professionals have their own lives. But yeah, I'll get a lot of people that reach out to me, and then like I'll see their message, but I'm busy doing something else, and I think, okay, I'll just get back to this person later. And then obviously I'm busy doing other stuff, and then it'll slip my mind. And then some people get upset because I don't respond to them immediately, and that is a big turn off. Do I have a thing to the link? We could probably find it. Yeah, I've definitely had some interesting conversations with people over that sort of stuff. But yeah, as far as the idea of reaching out to other professionals for guidance and stuff, I think it's a good idea. Like things like, people coming to the stream, you can talk directly to me. I think this is one of the things I prefer about streaming is the fact that people can just straight up just message me their question here and I can just answer it immediately instead of sending me a private message and then I forget about it and then having to follow up, like that sort of thing. But yeah, so I think it's a good idea reaching out to professionals. Just understand that they have their own life. And this is the main thing. The main key thing to take away from this is they don't owe you anything. Like people don't owe you anything, especially if you don't know them. Yeah, I'll get so many people that message me, and I just can't respond to them all, just because I just don't have the mental energy to do so. And then if I don't respond within like 2 days, I'll get like a hateful message back, and I'm like, usually I just block them at that point. What are the most common questions you get from people contacting me? It's usually me asking them for feedback. And a lot of, like, I'm not kidding, half the people that ask me for feedback and I give them feedback don't respond to me afterwards. That's another thing. If you're going to ask a professional for their opinion and then you just ignore them afterwards, it's pretty insulting. And there's also another thing is actually I'll just find the blog. The blog is the key. The blog lists all of this stuff. Let's see. Yeah, the main thing is just don't be a douche. Respect other people's time and just yeah. Let me just find it. Just don't be a douche. Um, how far back did we go? Quite old. I wrote it like a few years ago, I think. There we go. Online etiquette, dealing with professionals. Yeah, I wrote this a year ago. Yeah, I'm pretty blunt in it and to the point because I was just dealing with a lot of nonsense. Damn, I wrote a lot. But yeah, I'm not kidding. There's the worst is when students constantly ask you for feedback but don't do your feedback. Like, and honestly, that does kill your shot at the industry sometimes. Like there, I'm not trying to scare people, but there's definitely people that if I saw them applying at a studio, I would be concerned. Just because I found them hard to deal with as a student, if that makes sense. Well, this is penetrating quite a lot. You better read this before I say anything stupid. No, you haven't said anything stupid. I think, like the stream and chat is pretty chill. Like it's not. Oh, you mean stupid to other people? That could be different. That never happens. Also, like people do talk. Like I've had interesting experiences with students before, and I'll tell a friend about this, and they'll be like, "Yeah, I've dealt with that person as well." So that's also another thing. I wouldn't reach out to every single person at once, because then it kind of feels like you don't actually care about your opinion. You're just trying to get blanket statements, and that's kind of insulting as well. This looks pretty bad. Maybe we can do something with it. Yeah, let's just go the other way. But yeah, unfortunately, it's gotten to a point where I've kind of stopped responding to people as much just because it just tired me out. Like it is tiring. Just constantly dealing with people messaging you. And it's not necessarily that people are being mean or anything like that. It's just it's a lot to deal with. On top of your life. Yeah, I just redirected the pipe in a more aesthetically pleasing way. Me, at least. You just want to build relationships? I think building relationships is of course really good. It's just be polite. That's it. That's the only thing. Just don't be a dick. That's the best advice I could possibly give anyone that wants to go in the industry. Just don't be a dick. Like people do talk. Yo, thanks for the raid, man. How was your stream? But yeah, building relationships is really important. It's how you get jobs, but you can also destroy the relationships as well if you're a bit of a tool. What is this? Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. It's a pretty interesting conversation. And I think it's a good conversation to have. I think it's much better for students to ask that sort of stuff. Because a lot of the time, like, I've noticed students won't really look at it from like a professional standpoint. They'll just be like, I want to get in the industry. You're going to get me into the industry. Yo, how's it going? Like, I've legit had people tell me that I need to get them a job. And I'm like, yeah, no. That's the last thing I'm going to do for you. I don't know who you are. Building a relationship is contributing to the community as well, not only asking for crits and feedback, but also helping others. Yeah, for sure. Like, I think being part of like Discords are a good idea. That's the one thing I really regret from when I was self-teaching myself is I wasn't part of any online communities. You started pursuing a VFX pipeline career, but now are looking into industrial design. Oh, that's cool. That's a interesting, different change. How come you want to swap? Industrial design sounds cool though. Can I please get you a cooking job? I don't know about that. I can't get you a cooking job. I'm sorry. But yeah, I think one of the best things though is like one of the coolest things, right? Is when students ask me for feedback and I see them quickly do the feedback. That's a good thing to me. That I'm much more likely to try and recommend that person instead of the person that just ignores everything I say for weeks on it. Oh, you're in high school, you're looking into VFX, but chose to go into industrial design. Oh, okay, fair enough. That's cool. Well, I don't like the sharp edge. Let's just round this. You love building and engineering, but also designing. I assume you'll, if you're still in high school, I assume you'll probably change your mind at some point. I remember everyone wanted to be an architect, and no one became an architect. You're a senior? I don't know what that means. So I studied graphic design, but I didn't become I mean, like I went to like technical college for graphic design, but I'm not a graphic designer. Yeah. So who asked again about reaching out to professionals? Oh, it was you. But yeah, if people want like help and stuff like that, they should definitely check out the Discord. The Discord has lots of pretty cool people in it. I don't check it too much unless someone specifically requests me to, just because there's just so much going on in it, and there's so many other people responding and helping there as well. So if you want like a good community, you should definitely look into the Discord we have. Those guys, those guys will know what they're talking about. Yeah, you don't always need a professional to respond. Or you can just tune into the stream. The stream is like, I'm not kidding. Like what I'm doing now is a pretty accurate demonstration of what I do at work. Like I don't really do anything that different at work, really. It's just the same thing, same process. Last year of high school. Am I still working on a film? I am still working on a film. Yeah, I still have my job at the moment. If I didn't have my job, I would be streaming more. But we still have work, so we're chilling at the moment. Streamers in plastic has a hang not just for Andrew but all the other people. Yeah, the stream's always super chill. Depends. Sometimes the Blender community can get a bit too intense sometimes, but most of the time it's pretty chill. Especially the Autodesk, the Autodesk streams are a lot more chill. Jeez. It's funny because one of the other streams we were deciding if we should use Unreal or Blender. What we decided to do was just play Fall Guys instead. That was the correct answer, Fall Guys. But no, the stream is chill. Everyone here is pretty cool. We can just hang out. Honestly, I think if you want to ask me a question, here is probably the best place to do it. Because I can literally just read your question and just tell you the answer like right now. As you can see, we keep doing this stuff all the time, you know, giving things little ports to plug into, stuff like that. That was great advice. Yeah, no worries. It's very blunt and to the point, but I think at the time I wrote it, I was getting pretty annoyed with how students were talking to me. I was like, all right, I need to speak my mind on this. Get rid of this. What is my perfect Sunday? I have no idea. What's this? We can go. How did I find it? It's okay. I just find it to be honest, for me personally, I'm not that comfortable in it. I just find it to be like any other program. It does have some cool strengths with its add-ons, but its main selling point of being free, I feel, is not really true because all of the things that make it good is paid add-ons. But yeah, as I just found it another 3D package. It had things that annoyed me. It had things I thought were good. There's definitely times where in the program I was like, damn, I wish I was back in Maya. There's times in Maya where I'm like, damn, I wish I had some of the Blender stuff. But you know, that's why we can use different programs. As far as like 3D modeling goes, it's like for production, it's no different to me personally. I feel much faster in Maya because I'm used to Maya and I've been using Maya for like the last 8 years. Yo, okay, so it's 10 past 10, so we got 50 more minutes. But yeah, I constantly get asked about, well, not asked, more like verbally assaulted over why it's not the industry standard. And I was thinking of doing like a blog on that sort of stuff. People were interested. I know it will definitely get a lot of flack. But we have the same conversation every time, so I was thinking of just straight up just writing a blog to send to people. You like how ZBrush made a mini free version? Did they? I don't know. I pay for ZBrush, so I don't know about the mini free one. Prepare for some arguments. I think, but this is the problem though, right? If you give them a very, like at the end of the day, it comes down to money. Like that's it. It's a business. It's always about money. There's a very logical reason why Maya is still the industry standard for modeling and the pipelines for all these studios. But let's not get into that. I probably shouldn't have even mentioned that in case there's a rogue user in the stream that will attack me. And this is coming from someone that actually doesn't mind the program. But yeah, at the end of the day, it just pretty much comes down to it's just too expensive to replace a pipeline for almost no benefit. Eh, it's not bad. We aren't like slandering anything. We're just talking about realities of 3D pretty much. It's a very real topic. Like the industries in general are constantly changing. Except Maya. Maya seems to be hanging around. Ah, why is it slowing down? Oh, don't you know about that? Yeah, I do almost all my triple edging now with um so I don't usually triple edge. I usually just use the chamfer. I'll show you. So if you just bevel, turn the chamfer off, you get a consistent triple edge everywhere. Oh, are you talking about wait what? Wait, can you turn off chamfer? Yeah, you can do it as well. I thought you were talking about in this program. But yeah, at the end of the day, if you want a job in film, learn Maya. I might continue this over. Oh, good offset, but whatever, it's fine. What's in here? I think they're releasing My Indie, which is pretty cool to everyone. Quite good. Let's see. L engine detail. Cool. What is the file format you're using? Then passing models to texture artists. Um, I don't know because we check it into a pipeline. I don't know what the file format is for a pipeline. So what happens is, say for example, I'm passing this off to the texture artist. I don't just message the texture artist a file. I check the model into the pipeline. The texture artist sits down on their computer. They open the pipeline and pull the model out. So we never, well, on a very rare occasion, we might send like files to each other. But if I'm passing this to texturing, like texturing will pick up the file themselves. Well, they'll pick up the checked in file, I mean. Yeah, I can imagine these being like big like headlights or something. Maybe something like this could be kind of cool. To go underneath this gap here. I totally broke that. Yeah, 200 is nothing for software. Yeah, imagine paying for Nuke. Nuke is much more. But yeah, I was thinking maybe we could do some sort of like headlight or something to kind of bridge this. But we can just look at some other circles. Kind of cool. So is this. Take this. MB is risky? What do you mean by that? I don't really know the difference between MB and MB. MA. I don't know. I think they're expanding it. I've still got Mine? I don't know. I kind of want to somehow... Oh, what am I doing? Negative. Some lights like that's kind of cool. I want to kind of balance in this thing. Ooh, why has that moved? Yeah, I have no idea about the different Maya files. You guys sound like you know way more about this than I do about this. Yeah, I kind of don't like the just general overhang, so I'm probably going to do something like this. I mean, this is temp, but we can maybe have some headlights. Oh, really? That's interesting. I didn't know about that. Yeah, thanks for popping in to say hey. No worries. I appreciate the support, truly. Have a good time at work. Yo, Indy, thanks for the raid, man. How was your stream? We need to bridge this gap with something. Actually, let's use this. This could be kind of cool. Yeah, no one has time to model. We should just kit bash. Uh, yeah, it'll be fine. Instead of breaking this UV though, I'll probably just create a new one. You got more work done on your block out for your character? Sick. I would check it out on stream, but since it's an Autodesk stream, I probably can't put it on put it on the screen because we have to own the rights to everything that's on the video. Oh, maybe I should rotate this at a normal angle. You like the cylinders penetrating? Why is this doing this? I'm curious what this looks like. We don't have to keep it. Alright, I did kind of screw that up. Whoa, this thing got super broken. I don't know, I kind of like that it's not like that, since now we have these two cylinders. Just still primitives? Oh, okay, fair enough. Alright, since we kind of broke everything, let's try that again. Where is this one? Oh. Is it not perfectly straight? Hmm. That's weird. I don't know why the gizmos are really slightly off for some reason. That's so weird. Alright, we should be fine now. Yeah, we'll go for 35 more minutes. And then if the chat wants to, we can play some Fall Guys. We can chill out for a bit. Have a break from doing work 24 hours of my life. Okay, so now it's okay. To an extent. What is up with this model? Is it really that intensive? Is what intensive? So it appears to be straight. Yo, how's it going? Am I having a massive blank? My transpose thing is very, very slightly off. Working 24 hours. I'm in 24 hours, but I do work a lot. I do a lot of personal projects. I'm having a mental blank. Damn it, this is the problem with trying to play with other programs. I've completely gone blank on how I change if it's world or object. It's this way, isn't it? Control Shift right click. Oh, okay. So what happened to mine then? Interesting. Okay. I'm pretty sure I mean that is Control Shift, but I thought I did it a different way. Okay, so now we're chilling. Something just happened in my Maya where it just wasn't respecting the thing. Do it in the tool settings. Oh yeah. Oh, we're good now. This is what too much modeling does. Alt F4? I'm pretty sure it is Alt F4. No, I think going into that program was the problem. It's getting me confused. I'm like, oh, I just press at the top. Oh, wait a minute. That's not the same program. All right, that was a little waste of time. I kind of quite like this. I think this is cool. Don't need the circles. So I have like some little fan um, insets. Kind of cool. Oh, what's this? Oh, I didn't pull it down. Can you send me a link to my problem? Probably not here, but on the Discord you can. We have a Discord. Oh yeah, there's a massive hole in here. We should do something about this. I don't want to have like the top vent thing on the bottom as well. That might be kind of boring. Actually, let's just see what it looks like. Yo, how's it going? I probably won't keep this. I don't like it. It kind of might be cool just to have like a That's the top bit. Angle supports, maybe. It's gonna be hidden anyway. I kind of might make a little mouth thingy. So kind of just doing. You lose confidence every time you open my stream. That's not good. The stream is meant to give you confidence. That's the point. Um, yeah, you come to the stream to get hype to do 3D modeling. Maya, come on. What do you think about 3D modeling future? Oh, I have no idea. I think anyone knows the 3D modeling future. How do I select but not deselect? I see you drag, select, then drag, select again, and you select more. Oh, you just hold shift. Or control shift, I think. AI is very powerful. Um, yeah, maybe, but I don't think it's going to be doing anything anytime soon. Yeah, if you use shift, it'll add and replace whatever you go over the top of. So if you just hold shift, it'll replace, it'll add but also remove whatever. But if you hold control shift, it'll just keep adding. Oh shit, I shouldn't have done that. Yo, no worries. Yeah, what DJ Brazzy says is right. Yeah, we got 30 more minutes of the stream. Just a heads up. Oh, I'm so hyped to play Fall Guys. It's gonna be fun. I haven't played for since the last stream. What are we gonna do with this one? I kind of just want to have like an inset, but I don't want to invest too much time into it. Something like this will probably do. Like a grill or something. The best part is I don't think anyone's even going to see this, so it doesn't really matter at all. Like, that's the thing, right? I mean, well, it depends. If we see it from the front, it'll be very obvious, but some more lights. Mm. Now it's starting to remind me of like an X-Wing or something. Just annoys me. I'm gonna lattice this entire top section. I mean bottom section, just so it comes underneath it. Nah, it bothers me. I think it'd probably be better just to have it symmetrical. It'd be more logical and just be easier. If it really bothers me later, we can replace it. Oh, whoops. Oh, I missed it. You get so much motivation from the streams. Awesome. I'm glad you do. Yeah, don't come to the stream to get disheartened. You come to the stream to be motivated. Like anyone can work in the film industry. It's not some special elite place where only the few selected can work in. It's anyone can get into the industry. I mean, it's very hard. Don't get me wrong. But once you're in, you're in. Yeah, that's kind of better actually. Do I use default Maya shortcuts? No, I have my own personal shortcuts. Like I've been deleting history this entire time and no one's seen it. Any shortcuts you recommend to replace? I mean, it's entirely up to you. It's entirely personal. Is there a hotkey command? There you go. There's a there's the image of my shortcuts right there. So I can show you. So I just made my own I made my own Maya hotkeys uh Excel sheet, you know, with standard control, shift, alt, control, all that sort of stuff. And then just all the keyboard keys. I went through everything I wanted to keep, and that's black. So the default stuff like, you know, deselect tool and translate, rotate, all the basic stuff is black. And then all the green are my custom hotkeys. So it's entirely personal. Like you don't have to copy these at all. Just do whatever you find comfortable. Like because I have my, so for me, I always have my thumb resting on Alt because obviously that's the main navigation in Maya. So I have like Alt 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for the different primitives. So I can just spawn a cube or a sphere really easily without moving my hand. I just have to move my finger. So I need a cube, just press the button and start playing with cubes. You know, cylinder, sphere, that sort of stuff. Plane is 4. And that's all really you need. I think I got 5 for Taurus. Yeah. What is 6? Oh, I never used that. 7? Oh, I don't think I've ever used this in my life. But yeah. It's up to you. Like, you don't have to copy my hotkeys at all. And I don't suggest you do. I think you should find whatever's comfortable for you. When we model hard surface, should we worry that every part perfectly fits with each other, or can we or we can do what? Do you mean penetrate? Yeah, you can penetrate things. Like when it comes to like this, like since we have such limited time, we don't really have the time to flesh out everything and make sure it's perfect. As long as it looks good from the desired angles and distance, that's all that really matters. Like there's a lot of things here that penetrate, but you probably won't see them. Unless the camera is going to be put here, then we would spend more time and make sure everything's perfect. But because we're not, I'm a bit more relaxed on that sort of stuff. But this is usually my general way I work. I get like the basic model done first. I start adding kitbash like elements with the details and stuff like that. Then I'll do like maybe like a base UV pass to kind of work out the UVs. Yes, no worries. And then I'll do like base hierarchy. So this is what I do at work. This is the order. Like so the way I've done the streams is how I would do this at work. If you go through from start to finish, you'll see the start to finish process of how I do my job pretty much. Yo, Dr. Robotnik and Vitkona, thanks for the follow. But yeah, and then once we have like the base, like we have pretty decent topology. We have, UVs, which are not too bad. It's not finished, but they're not bad. Then we just do like layers of detail and refinement pretty much. So now we start looking at like the big things, like we're filling in the holes and stuff like that. And then we do the final details later at the end. But yeah, so we have 20 more minutes left. I'm gonna have a really quick break, and I'll be back in 2 secs. have you wanted to study Fusion, Moi, or some CAD software? I do have Moi actually, and I used to use Moi once upon a time, but I didn't continue using it. I still have some. Like I started doing some Moi kitbash stuff actually. Let's see if I can remember where it is. Content browser. The content browser is amazing for people who don't know what this is. This is how I access my kitbash pods. Here you go. So this is all stuff done in Moi. Well, it's huge. Moi is pretty cool for this sort of stuff. I mean, topology doesn't matter. Yeah, this is something I made in Moi when I was learning the program. It's pretty cool stuff. Really nice program. So yeah, I did this a few years ago. I was building I was trying to make like mech components. I probably should get back into that. But yeah, Moi is great for that sort of stuff. What am I doing? Get the content browser back up. Yeah, all this stuff. Wow, this thing is huge as well. Obviously, this isn't like production topology. Yeah, Moi is a pretty cool program. It's made by one guy, I think, as well. The guy that made Rhino, I think. I think it's his program. Moi is nice for cleaning up CAD files. Question: what is kitbash exactly? Kitbash is when you take pre-existing assets and you add detail with them. Like, say for example, I don't know. Say for example, we have an empty space here, but we don't know what to put there, or we want to add detail quickly without having to do much modeling. We can take a pre-existing component. I'm just going to take this. I don't know how this is going to look, but we will test. So we go to our kitbash library, and then we take our component, and we literally just put it here. We bash the components together. So now we have detail for free. It's actually kind of cool. Maybe we can leave that. Oh, the bottom's kind of trash. But yeah, this is what kitbashing is. Kitbashing is literally just using pre-made assets to add detail. So all this mech is kitbashed, all of it, like all this sort of stuff, and it saves us a lot of time. But yeah, we're gonna go for 15 more minutes. If anyone has any last minute questions. Yo, Hema, you still lingering? Yeah, no worries. I think kitbashing is fundamental for a hard surface modeler. I think it's one of the most important things. Like the key, like to be a fast, efficient hard surface modeler, you should just model the least amount you can. So how much progress did we make today? So at the moment, we kind of refined this area a bit more. We kind of closed up some other smaller gaps. So we're at the stage now where it won't really feel like we're progressing much because we've done all the big the big shapes. And we're just gonna be doing the refining now. But I think we're in a pretty strong spot. What would you say the best way to make a kitbash library would be? Do you start with making the individual pieces, or do you create a large concept model and break it apart? So my kit comes from me making a concept mesh and then breaking it apart. So the idea of me getting into kitbashing, actually not really, but So like I will build a component for, like, say for example, we didn't have a kit bash library. Like I want to make a pipe. I'll build this pipe and then I'll just duplicate it and put it off to the side. And then say for example, I build this thing. This thing's kind of cool. I'll just duplicate it, put it off to the side. Like as I'm working, I will build components and then just pull them aside. And then in the end, you'll just have this massive group of parts, and that's your parts library. The other way you can do it is you can look at real reference online and just start building like a library of components, which is what we did for the previous kit. In the previous streams, I saw that you were either hiding a mesh to show the final piece and then unhiding the concept mesh to delete it. It might have been this. So this is, it might have been layers. So say for example, the glass is on its own layer. So I can turn the glass on and off by using the V. That might be what you're talking about. The concept mesh used to be on one of these. Like for example, my kit is also on that. As you can see, this is still part of the kit group, so it's disappearing. Let me check that out. Yeah, I think there's no correct way to make a kit. The easiest is to go back through your previous model and just break apart components that you can use in the future. Like you don't want very specific components, you want very generic. Like a lot of this stuff is just generic shapes. Like you could put this on anything really. It's just super generic. But then like some things are based on a real thing. Like this is a proper light on an aircraft. Like stuff like that. It's a mix of both. It's, you know, these things are looking at real little components on the side of robots, like real robots. Same with these things. To an extent. So I have large chunks of stuff like that. Or we can also do stuff like this. Like say for example, we're pretty happy with the shape of how things are going. We could have a library. We probably will do this at some point eventually. We're going to be covering like the paneling with basic stuff like this. Like we can do this sort of stuff. So just using small little details and stuff. So this in theory is a big mesh with just a small detail on it. It was Alt H, maybe. I don't think I use Alt H, so maybe not. Yeah, I really like this piece. This piece is cool. I like adding things that like break the silhouette. Like at the moment it's very straight. So having something that kind of breaks the silhouette would be kind of nice. I don't know, maybe not too crazy. See what this looks like. They're a bit too thick, but you get the idea. Like using small components to kind of break up the silhouette is always quite nice. Maybe if they were thin. We probably just get away with one of them actually. And then make it thicker. Yeah, stuff like this, the clients, like, I mean, it depends on the show. But like small stuff like this usually isn't really a problem. It doesn't really affect the design too much. But it kind of adds to it in a way, which is cool. Do you use triangles or make everything quads? I try and make everything quads. You can use Control 1 to isolate a mesh to work on it individually. Yeah, so for me, I hotkeyed that to the tilde key. So this is what I use. I use this all the time. I think this is the most important hotkey. If you're gonna make a hotkey that's comfortable for you, it should be isolate select. Like I isolate select and frame everything I work on. I always do this. I get very upset when I can't isolate select. So for example, in ZBrush it won't respect the tilde key, which really tilts me. But whatever, it is what it is. They have cell in ZBrush. I know, but I like to press a hotkey. So I tried to hotkey solo to the tilde key, and it doesn't work, and it made me sad. You can hotkey solo to anything else but the tilde key, which is what I use for solo in every other program, which is kind of annoying, but it is what it is. But yeah, on this today it doesn't really feel like we did too much. I mean, usually my streams after work are usually a bit more chill. But I at this point I'm pretty comfortable with finishing within the 10 days anyway. So we're chilling, we're fine. We filled some holes, we cleaned up some stuff. We added some little things. But yeah, should we got a few minutes left. Should we do some Fall Guys? I'm totally down to do some Fall Guys. After we've done 11 hours of work today. Is there anyone in the chat that would like to jump into a squad that's on Steam? Quick Fall Guys. Yeah, we're going to do an hour and a half of Fall Guys. So I'm going to quickly end the stream and then just restart it so I can just send the video straight to YouTube. So I'll be back in 2 seconds.